What is going on, everybody? New York Sports Up here. I'm back at it with another New York Giants video. I'm going to be making a video today about how many Pro Bowlers I think will make the team for the New York Giants in the 2020-2021 season. And obviously, last year we had 0 Pro Bowlers, and back in 2019, we went 4-12. Saquon Barkley was not healthy. We had a lot of players who weren't really healthy, and we didn't really have much players, play to our Pro Bowl level. But this year, I think we will have multiple players make the Pro Bowl, and I'm going to be listing how many players I will think to make the Pro Bowl this season. Now, it's unclear on how many games we will play this season. We've had with the whole the whole Cowboys players testing positive for the coronavirus. We might have, less training camp, which could affect their season and could affect the way they play. We haven't really seen much of how they will play under Jason Garrett, so that's kind of giving away that I do think some offensive players will make this list. And maybe it's just players you wouldn't expect maybe to make the team that I think maybe will make the team this year. So let's go. Personally, I think there will be multiple Pro Bowlers making the team this year, and some of them, once again, might surprise some people. So the first Pro Bowler I think is pretty obvious, and that is the New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is arguably the best running back in the league. You could definitely argue Christian McCaffrey, but I think Saquon Barkley is a lot more talented than McCaffrey is, and I think he's the best running back in the league. I think he's more dynamic than he is. And I think with an improved offensive line, I think Barkley can make the Pro Bowl. And, it's pretty self-explanatory. If Barkley can stay in the field, he's one of the best players in the league. And once again, if he can just stay in the field, he's a Pro Bowler for sure. I don't really need to explain much about this one. This is kind of an easy choice here. He's definitely a Pro Bowler this season. It'll be pretty easy. I think he'll actually start. I think he'll be the best running back in the league this year, and I think he'll take that crown back from Christian McCaffrey as the best running back in the league. That's supposing that you think he was the best running back in the league after 2018, which I did think he was. So Saquon Barkley is the first Pro Bowler I got going on there, and the second Pro Bowler I have is the New York Giants rookie safety Xavier McKinney. Now, obviously, we have not seen a snap in the NFL for Xavier McKinney, but personally, I'm a huge fan of him. A lot of people compare Xavier McKinney to Landon Collins because he went to Alabama. Xavier McKinney is a lot better player than Landon Collins is, and Xavier McKinney will not turn out to be the complete, overrated player that Landon Collins was. Xavier McKinney's a lot better than Collins is. Collins isn't really much of a safety. He's more of a small linebacker, and McKinney's a full-on safety, and I think he'll be our best defensive player next year. And I'm very high on him. I'm very high on James Bradbury, but I think McKinney's a Pro Bowler, and I have predicting him to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, and he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's probably going to make the Pro Bowl as well, and I'm expecting big things out of him. I think he was the best safety in the draft. I had him going to Dallas in the first round, and I'm pretty sure most people did, and he was the best safety in the draft, and I was surprised he dropped that low to 36. We got a steal in him, and I think he's definitely making the Pro Bowl. He's one of the more talented players I've seen out of the safety position in a long time, and I think he's a Pro Bowler. I think he's making the Pro Bowl team this season. So 2 Pro Bowlers so far for the New York Giants. And the third one is a little bit of a surprise. I'm going to go with our long snapper, Crider. Now, Crider actually did make a Pro Bowl. I don't know, whatever team he was before the Giants. I didn't really pay attention to when we signed him. But I think he'll make the Pro Bowl this year because the long snapper position is probably the most useless position in the league. We had Zach Diossi last year, who's been with the Giants. I think he actually had a Super Bowl year. I think he's been here since 2011 when we won the Super Bowl. Zach Diossi's been here for a long time, but Diossi really struggled last year, and he could not hold on to the ball, when it was snapped to him, and that's what we had a lot of, botched kicks by Aldrich Rosas. We missed a lot of field goals because of him, and Zach Diossi did not perform very well, and with Crider, who was a Pro Bowl long snapper, I think he actually will make the Pro Bowl, because once again, there's not a lot of very good long snappers in the league, because long snapper is one of the more useless positions, so kind of a pick that you probably didn't expect, but the Giants are actually one of the best special teams in the league. We had Riley Dixon, who had an amazing season. He was a really good punter for the Giants, and the Giants are actually one of the best in the league in the special teams department, and I really like what they have with Crider. I think he can definitely be a step above Zach Diossi. So that's 3 Pro Bowlers right there. Crider, I think, makes the Pro Bowl, and once again, he may not. I definitely would not be shocked if he doesn't, but kind of just kind of a pick I wanted to make because long snappers is kind of a useful position, and there's not very good long snappers, and the Giants just do special teams so well. I decided to put Crider on this list, and the fourth and final Pro Bowler that I think will make the team will be the Giants wide receiver Darius Slayton. I continue to say that Darius Slayton will be the Giants' #1 receiver going in next season. I think he will. I think Darius Slayton is our best receiver, and I'm really excited. I think he can do big things in his second year, and once again, I'm very excited to see what he can do, with Jason Garrett now, with hopefully with a healthy teammates around him on the offense that, can kind of boost his energy and make him an even better player. And I'm a huge fan of Darius Slayton. I think he's our #1 receiver. He had a fantastic rookie season. Personally, I think Darius Slayton can perform even better than Terry McLaurin. I think Darius Slayton's really good. I don't really think he gets the credit he deserves. I think he's a Pro Bowler. So I think those are 4 Pro Bowlers for the Giants. And Darius Slayton, I'm just once again just expecting huge things out of him. Nate Burleson was huge on that guy. I think a lot of former wide receivers like Nate Burleson are really high on Darius Slayton. They can see just a really good receiver in him. And who knows? Maybe Darius Slayton's a top 10 receiver next year. You never know. I'm expecting big things out of Slayton. I think he's a Pro Bowler. So those are the 4 Pro Bowlers I think will make it. So I'm kind of going to list like candidates that could possibly make it, and maybe just fall short of the squad. One guy that can definitely make the team is James Bradbury. Leonard Williams could too, but James Bradbury I think is a better candidate. I'm really high on James Bradbury. I think James Bradbury is our best defensive player right now, but I think he definitely has a chance of making the Pro Bowl, but there is a lot of good cornerbacks in the league in the NFC that could definitely make it, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bradbury makes it, but he's definitely a candidate because Bradbury is a very, very solid cornerback. Once again, he's had to guard one of the top 5 receivers in the league with Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, and Julio Jones. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Bradbury. I think he's one of the better corners in the NFC. Personally, I think he's definitely a candidate for the Pro Bowl. But will he make it? I'm not sure because, the cornerback position is stacked in the NFC. Another guy who can definitely make it is Daniel Jones. I would not be surprised if Daniel Jones makes the Pro Bowl. I expect Daniel Jones to be a top 10 quarterback this next season. I think he'll be a top 10 quarterback. I'm really high on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones will be better than guys like Dak Prescott next year. I'm counting on that for sure. And but will Daniel Jones make the Pro Bowl? I'm not confident on that because there is a lot of quarterbacks in the NFC that are really good. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady could definitely make the Pro Bowl if Tom Brady decides to, this is his final season. I think he might be playing one more year after this, but I think this might be his final season. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know. I think it might have been a 2-year contract. So if this is one of his last seasons, you might want Tom Brady to get in the Pro Bowl because he deserves it. So Tom Brady's definitely a guy who can make the Pro Bowl. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFC that can definitely make it. Russell Wilson, if I didn't say him, he's the best quarterback in the NFC. So there's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFC. So I think that the position, the quarterback position, Carson Wentz is 1-2. I just think the quarterback position is a little bit too stacked. So I think Daniel Jones will probably fall short of it, but I definitely think he'll deserve it though. But I don't think Daniel Jones will be a Pro Bowler just yet. Maybe not this year, but I think next year he will. Another guy who could definitely make it is Evan Engram. I mean, all we know is if Evan Engram can stay in the field, he can be a beast. I'm really high on Evan Engram, and maybe Evan Engram can lead the team in receiving yards. You never really know. Evan Engram is really good at getting touchdowns. I'm a huge fan of Evan Engram. I think he can be a dynamic player to this offense. I think Evan Engram's a really good tight end. I think he can be a top 5 tight end in the league if he can stay healthy. I'm really high on Evan Engram. A lot of Giants fans are too. We just need him to stay healthy because Evan Engram is a really good player. He got a lot of talent. He plays like a wide receiver, but he is a tight end, but he plays like a wide receiver. Huge on Evan Engram. He's definitely a guy who can make the Pro Bowl. Another guy who can make the Pro Bowl is Riley Dixon. I mean, Riley Dixon was a really good punter for the Giants, and the Giants are just so good in the special teams department. They always really have been. And I would not be surprised if Riley Dixon makes the Pro Bowl because he had a fantastic season last year, and he's definitely a guy who can make it. You don't really look at. I feel like a lot of Giants fans when they're picking Pro Bowl players, like when they're making predictions, you don't really look at the special teams category because the Giants are really good at it. So I would not be surprised if Riley Dixon makes the team. And there's definitely a lot of other candidates that can make it, but those are kind of the candidates I could see coming closer to it. Like there's a lot of guys I could put on this list. Leonard Williams is definitely one. He definitely has a good chance. Jabril Peppers, it definitely has a good chance. So many other players, Dalvin Tomlinson played really well last year, but those are the 4 guys I think that will make the Pro Bowl team. So Xavier McKinney, Saquon Barkley, Darius Slayton, and Casey Crider. Those are the 4 Pro Bowlers I have going to the Pro Bowl this year. So put it down in the comments below who your Pro Bowlers are for the Giants this year. And if you want to, put your Pro Bowlers for your favorite team. Who do you think the players on your team will make the Pro Bowl? And, we can have a conversation about the Giants, whatever you guys want to talk about. And I also, I know I found out the news coming earlier today about Rob Manfred, his comments about the season that he's not confident, and I would be making a rant about it, but I decided not to make any more videos until the season actually started, so I won't be making a video about it, but I'm going to say it right now, I'm actually disgusted with Rob Manfred, and a lot of other MLB fans are too, which you should, because, that was just terrible comments, and now it looks like we won't have baseball, which is just shameful, but anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I don't want to ramble anymore about baseball, because I can, make a whole video about that, so that's going to do it for this video. Those are the players I think could make the Pro Bowl for the Giants in 2020, and once again, put your Pro Bowlers down in the comments below. I'd love to have a conversation, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.